Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. We are in 5th chapter of the first canto, Balakand, and I think we are on the 9th to 11th verse. Is that right?
Swamiji shlok पढ़ना है.
हाँ, but 9th कौन से श्लोक?
बालकांड वाला.
अब शुरू हो गया. कोई बात नहीं. So I think we have to start from 9th to 11th verse. चलो अभी तुमने बोल दिया तो शुरू कर देते हैं. बोलो, तुम ही बोलो.
You want me to say something?
या
वर्णानामर्थसङ्घानां रसानां छन्दसामपि मङ्गलानां च कर्तारौ वन्दे वाणी विनायकौ भवानी शङ्करौ वन्दे श्रद्धा विश्वासरूपिणौ याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धा स्वान्तस्तमीश्वरम् वन्दे बोधमयं नित्यं गुरुं शङ्कररूपिणम् यमाश्रितो हि वक्रोऽपि चन्द्रः सर्वत्र वन्द्यते सीतारामगुणग्राम पुण्यारण्यविहारिणौ वन्दे विशुद्धविज्ञानौ कवीश्वर कपीश्वरौ उद्भवस्थितिसंहारकारिणीं क्लेशहारिणीं सर्वश्रेयस्करीं सीतां नतोऽहं रामवल्लभाम् यन्मायावशवर्ति विश्वमखिलं ब्रह्मादिदेवासुरा यत्सत्त्वादमृषैव भाति सकलं रज्जौ यथा हेर्भ्रमः यत्पादप्लवमेकमेव विभवां भूते स्थितिर्षावताम् वन्देऽहं तमशेषकारणपरं रामाख्यमीशं हरिम् नानापुराणनिगमागमसम्मतं यत् रामायणे निगदितं क्वचिदन्यतोऽपि स्वान्तसुखाय तुलसीरघुनाथगाथा भाषानिबन्धमतिमञ्जुलमातनोति भाषानिबन्धमतिमञ्जुलमातनोति.
So we are back. So we were looking at Lord Shiva in the fifth chapter. Lord Shiva is continuing the story telling the story to Parvati that along with the brothers, Vishwamitra spent the night in the forest called Kama Ashram. When is this? After after they have killed Tadka, and Tadka was Kama Rupini, and now we have come to Kama Ashram, where Kama is under control. She has out of control, which was inhabited by sages and hermits. And in the morning, when at dawn, they started towards they continued on their journey, and then they arrived at Siddhashram. And where are we? They arrived at Siddhashram, where Siddhas, mystics, attained and expert ones, and gypsies, it is written here, the resident hermits and sages of the place of the instructions of Vishwamitra. They were already waiting for Vishwamitra to come, and they immediately organized themselves to welcome Vishwamitra along with Shri Ram and Lakshman. And after that, Shri Ram told, see, understand one thing, that there are various lokas. One of them is Siddhalok. Now, you may say that Bhu, Prithvi, earth, is a gross state. But from a Adhyatma, from Vedantic point of view, all the lokas, all the 14 planes of existences, and all the people, all the life inhabiting these 14 planes of existences are only an imagination. They are only in the subtle form. They are only projection of the mind. Understand this. And one of the lokas is Siddhalok. And those Siddhas are along with or serving Vishwamitraji, or along with Vishwamitraji, wanting to conduct this Havan. And usually you see there are the yogis, there are munis, there are rishis, there are sannyasis. Yogis, sannyasi can be a yogi also, so we'll just take sannyasis, munis and rishis. So what is the difference between these? Sannyasi is he who has left everything. He is not attached to anything. If the wind comes, just like a leaf, the leaf comes, blows it this way, he goes this way. If a breeze comes this way, he goes that way. He has got no agenda to prove in this life. He's renounced everything from his mind. No value to anything in this world. All the 14 lokas. Who is Muni? Mananatiti Muni. Muni is, sannyasi can be a tapasvi, sannyasi can be a yogi, sannyasi can be a hatha yogi, sannyasi can be a kundalini yogi, sannyasi can be a kriya yogi, sannyasi can be a raj yogi, sannyasi can be a Vedanti. But Muni is, sannyasi may know the scriptures, may not know the scriptures. Many Naga Babas are there, they have not studied, or many Mahatmas, they have not sannyasis, they have not studied, but they are doing their tapasyas. Muni, Mananat iti Muni, the one who reflects. And there is no necessity for Munis to be well versed in the Vedas, to be well versed in the Upanishads, etc. Then what are they doing? They are reflecting on deep secrets of this universe. Something has caught their mind. जैसे बोलते हैं ना किताबी कीड़े एक किताबी कीड़े हो गए. They delve into any topic and go deep into it. Whatever has grabbed their mind, or whatever they have set out to explore, and as a result of this, all the secrets of this universe are revealed to them. This is how the Vishwamitra was revealed, the Gayatri Mantra. Okay. He was not a Brahma Rishi till then. And then Munis can be married can be not married. And then comes the Rishis. Rishis necessarily have to be well versed in the Vedas. Moreover, these Rishis, they are mind-born children of the Creator, Brahmaji. And what is their purpose? Unlike the Sanat Kumaras who are continuously contemplating on the Lord, the Rishis, they are Brahmajnanis. Vashishta Maharaj, sage Vashishta, he is a great, he knows the truth, but at the same time, he continues propagating the purpose of creating the Rishis by the Creator was so that they multiply themselves and fill up, create, inhabitate this earth, this creation. That's the Leela. And that is what they are doing. Normally it is seen a Brahmagnani. You can take Nisargadatta Maharaj, you can take Ammachi, you can take Ramana Maharishi, you can take Ramakrishna Paramananda. So many of them are there. You will never see them doing any fire sacrifice. You will never see them doing yagyas. But Rishis, and who are these Rishis? They are permanently there till the cycle of creation is there. And usually they say in different Manvantaras, different Sapta Rishis are there, but Vashishta Rishi, Gautam Rishi, Bhardwaj Rishi, they are more or less the permanent ones. You even have in the sky the Sapta Rishi Mandal. You can see the 7 stars. Those are the Sapta Rishi. Yeah. So Rishis, they were Brahmagyanis. They were well versed in the Vedas, Upanishads, knowledge. And yet at the same time, even though they are well versed, they continue to invoke the fire. Fire is represented with karma. Fire is a representation of activity, action. And what is the action of these? For maintaining the balance in this universe, for maintaining peace and harmony in this universe, for showing for keeping best way to put it is to keep the balance in this universe. And when we look at these rishis performing this, then the brahmanas other people will also start following their way, that they are well controlled, their senses are in control, their mind is in control, their speech is in control, their actions are in control. They are fully knowledgeable, yet they are continuously living their life, giving oblation to the gods. And last week I explained to you all the gods at the totality level. The sun, the moon, the Ashwini Kumars, the directions, the Maruts, the Adityas, the Rudras, all of them are present within this microcosm. That is this body. So when we are performing this havan, this fire sacrifice, all our faculties are hopefully they are at their best, they are alive, they are active, they are invoked by way of mantras. And that is how they get fed. And you are not just doing swaha swaha, you are chanting the mantras. And this was the way of the rishis. On one hand, and all of you, me, everyone, we all belong to some rishi. Some of you belong to Bhardwaj lineage. So what is your gotra? You will say Bhardwaj gotra. Someone will say Atri gotra. Someone will say Gautam gotra. Those who do not know which gotra or which rishi they belong to, they say they are told that you are from Kashyap gotra. So, and there are many. Apart from these 7, there are lower ones. Then further, their kids, they were also Rishis and Munis, and there are Gotras by their names also. So, this is the difference between the Rishis, Munis, Sannyasis, and here Vishwamitra is at the Siddha ashram where all the Siddhas are some beings, some either you can say they are taken the human form and they are here performing the penances, or that he has taken them into this world of into this ashram where these siddhas are, and these and who are the mystics. They are the siddha means they have siddha. This is siddha means this is in Sanskrit language also. This is siddha means this is accomplished. This is matured. So who are siddhas? Siddhas are accomplished people, accomplished sannyasis, accomplished seekers, accomplished in what? In whatever field they had applied themselves. See, they have matured into that power, that ability, that capacity, that siddhi. That power has become invoked in them and they are able to utilize that power. Then why could they not use that power to curb the Rakshasas? Did Vishwamitra and these Siddhas not have the power to keep the demons, the Tadka and the others, Khardushan, keep them away? Yes, they had. But they have the sacrifice that they are doing is for the betterment of the whole universe. Loka samasta sukhina bhavantu, or sarve sukhina santu. Therefore, they have taken a vow, and or it is required by that particular sacrifice that they will not harm anyone while that sacrifice is going on. And in spite of taking this particular vow that we will not harm anyone, many times they have started the sacrifice. Many times Tadka and Khardushan, they have come and no, Khardushan are gone. Mareecha and others, they have come and destroyed their fire sacrifice. And as a result, it was necessary for Vishwamitra to bring about the auspicious conclusion to this long delayed fire sacrifice. And for doing that, he has gone to Ayodhya and he has asked for Ram and Lakshman to accompany him into the jungles, to the ashram, to protect, because they are kshatriyas, they are warriors, they are sons of a king. And he brought them along, and we explained you all that. And when they came, he invoked them, or he blessed them with 2 powers called Bala and Ati Bala. Before a child is given full carrot to eat when they are child, first you mash the carrot and give it as a puree so that his stomach can digest. When you start seeing that this child is easily able to digest it, he is not vomiting it out, he is able to take it in, his body is able to adjust to it, then you continue giving the mash with few chunks in it, small chunks. And then as weeks and months go by, then the child cries, here, take a carrot. And the child is happy with the carrot, keeps chewing because the teeth are also coming. So looking at the qualification of a child, that type of food is handed to that child. You will not give a scissor into the hand of a child. Only a person. You will not allow a small child to light a gas or keep him near the fire, because he doesn't know, that child doesn't know from good from bad. Same way, our Vishwamitra also gave these two powers, Bala and Ati Bala, which kept you free from hunger and thirst and sleep. And that was as a test. That was as a test to see if Ram and Lakshman pass with good marks. And Ramchandra ji, he kills the Tadka, Lakshman, he kills the others, and as a result, Vishwamitra ji is so happy with them that he sees them as they're worthy of all the knowledge that he has gathered over the years of the various weapons and various powers, various invocations of mantras, which bring and which invoke unexplicable powers and potencies, and how to invoke them, how to activate them. And he showers, because they have already killed Tadka, he showers both of them with all those powers that he has accrued over thousands of years. And the only reason he collected all those powers through all those mantras, through all those tapasyas, was not because he wanted to be a great rishi. It was only out of animosity to sage Vasishtha. He wanted to defeat him. And whenever we do tapasya, the tapasya means single-pointed focus, single-pointed reflection. When your mind has got no doubts, it is not distracted by anything, and such a person, when he or she utters anything, it becomes truth, it becomes true. See? So these mantras, so where are you using your power? With that single pointed focus, you utter that mantra, the power is in your hand and you can activate it. And with that, we came to this Siddhashram, where Shri Ram told Vishwamitra, sage Kaushika, that please, you now engage yourself in the fire sacrifice, which has been long delayed due to these Rakshasas, due to these demons, and I will take myself and Lakshmana, we will protect your sacrifice. And he said, Tathastu, and sage Vishwamitra says Tathastu, and he begins his fire sacrifice along with all the other sages and seers in that Siddhashram. And at mid-afternoon, about the two demons, Mareecha and Subahu, I gave explanation about them last week. They came and they started raining blood and bones on the sacrificial fire. See, maskari jo karte hain na, those who are troublemongers, mischief creators, Krishna was one of them. When Krishna was hungry and he did not get what he wants, he used to go and break the butter pots. He will eat the butter, and rest of the butter he will throw it everywhere. He will not leave it behind. He will break the pot and finish it off. If a nice garden is there, he'll destroy that, trample it. If a area has been made nice, even now in many villages, if you go, the floor of the house every morning, the lady of the house, she covers it with a thin layer of cow dung mixed with water, and that's like a fresh layer every day. every morning and every evening. And that, who's this? And they are, and the whole house has become fresh. It's a mosquito repellent, good fragrance. But Krishna Bhagwan, he will go, he'll spoil that, he'll drop butter everywhere, and why? Well, masti. But Bhagwan is Bhagwan. Bhagwan is not a Rakshas. He is doing it to bless. These demons, they are not doing it to bless. They are out there to create mischief. Why? Because they enjoy. They are sadists. They enjoy disturbing others. They enjoy killing others. They enjoy giving pain to others. They enjoy if someone else is in misery. When Krishna used to make someone miserable, it was a blessing. The errors, the papa, the sins of that person were removed from that. Those people never hated Krishna for any reason. In fact, their love became more and more deep towards Krishna, even though he was troubling them so much. Is that the case with our current Dushan? No. They are like a prickly thorn which needs to be removed. It's continuously making everyone uncomfortable. No one loves thorn. Imagine there's one under you right now. How would you feel? Bar keep shifting. And therefore, when Shri Ram and Lakshman were looking at, when they saw Shri Ram told Lakshmana, you take care of all the army and I will take care of these two. And he had the capacity, he invoked two arrows at the same time on the bow that was with him, and with full strength. Again, what is this? This is multitasking. What is multitasking? Two shots in one go. You take one arrow, then shoot. But by the time while you are shooting one arrow, maybe the other one comes and attacks you. He takes two arrows, and each arrow goes to its own destination. This art is still available. Is still available. See, it's like, cluster bombs. Cluster bombs, one bomb left the plane. If you must have seen in some YouTube, one bomb leaves the plane. That bomb opens up, out of it come another 50-60 bombs, and each one has a sensor, and each one is guided towards, suppose there is a huge battalion of tanks on the ground, or each of those 50-60 bombs has a particular target. And the plane who dropped the one bomb, he has gone away. They are doing their job because they have been programmed that way. All this is done by your mind, by invoking the mantra. And Ramchandraji chose two. One was fire-like arrow and the other was a blunt arrow. With the blunt arrow, he hit Mareech. Mareech is Mareechika, it is mirage, it is projection, it is imagination, it is that which is not there. And when that arrow hits Mareech, he goes away and falls 100 yojanas near Sri Lanka. Where are they? Near Gangaji. They haven't reached Gangaji yet. And it is this Mareech who will come afterwards as what? As the golden deer to distract Sita ji. It is this Mareech who is so afraid even of the word R, because Ram has hit him. He is afraid to even hear the word R, alphabet R. And the second arrow, which was the fire arrow, it goes and hits Subahu, the very strong person, and it burns him there and then. And in this way, both of them, yes, Mareech was also, he was, when the blunt arrow hit him, it took him, it spun him like a top and took him all the way to Sri Lanka. Many kilometers, hundreds of kilometers away. And such was this Tad Adbhutam Avabhavata. So such was this wonderful, astonishing feat performed by both of them. Whereas Lakshmana, he single-handedly kills their entire army who is behind them doing the similar acts. And in this way, now we are at the 9th, 10th, 11th. Pushpoghairakiram randeva raghavam saha lakshmanam devadundubhayo neduhu tushtuvu siddhacharanaha Vishwamitrastu sampujya pujarham raghunandanam anke viveshya chalingya bhaktya bashpakulekshanaha bhojayitva saha bhrata ramam pakvafaladibihi puranavakyair madhuraihi ninaya devasatrayam. When the Lord and his Shakti, which is Sheshnag, his vitality, both of them have performed such, all the gods, because the fire sacrifice was performed for the gods only. Who are gods? Productive potentials. What is that power behind the right eye? That is the power of the sun. What is the power behind your left eye? It is the power of the moon. What is the power which expresses as holding power through your hands? The Indra. What is the power which makes the feet move? Vishnu. What is the power which is in your heart? The Shiva. And this way all the gods are distributed in various parts of your body. You can do the research, Google it yourself. Or you read some of it, you will get it when you do the, before the puja, when you do purify yourself. So before Rudram, you can read that. Before Durga Saptashati, you can read that. Before Vishnu Sahasranam, you can read that. Which are the various gods in different parts of your body. It's there. So in this way, all these gods, because the sacrifice was able to complete, the demons who were creating the trouble, they have been vanquished, they have been removed from the scene. The gods who are so happy, immediately they start showering flowers, they start, just like a marriage ceremony, the conch and the kettle drums and the damru and the jhanj, kya bolte hain, cymbals, all the sounds, and all the siddhas, they started chanting their mantras and sang the praises in the honor of Shri Ram. Because all these highly evolved beings in Siddha Ashram, remember we are in Siddha Ashram, all these evolved beings, they know the secret of Shri Ram. And therefore, when such a feat is performed by Shri Ram, this is exactly what happens inside us also. I explained it, but in short, when we go beyond the mind, mind is the projecting power, Mareecha. If at all you want to imagine, if at all you want to project, why don't you project Shri Ram? Why don't you project Krishna? Why don't you project Lord Shiva? Why don't you bring that picture in your mind? Why you want to project desires for the world? If mind has to imagine, let it imagine divinity. Because when mind imagines the world can never satisfy the mind. Only God can satisfy the mind. And therefore, within us, when our attention, in spite of our old habit of getting involved in the world, desiring the world, getting attached to the world, somehow by grace, by regular practice, by being in the company of satsang or great masters, somehow this attention turns inwards towards the higher, towards the divine, then something, when it turns inwards towards the divine, what does it mean? And it stays there. It's not just turns for one moment and then it's over. No. They tried invoking the fire so many times, but these fellows used to come and destroy it. So many times you will try to turn inwards towards the divine. Many times the mind will be hijacked, your attention will be hijacked by the world. Again and again. So you take the name of Shri Ram, you take the name of the Lord, you take the name with great faith, with commitment, with devotion, with surrender, again and again and again and again. If not the first time, if not the 10th time, 100th time, it will certainly click. Guaranteed. And when it clicks, you will see that everything, the unwanted involvement in the world was like getting involved with an imagination. Just like when you dream in the night, it seems it is real, but some event in the dream wakes you up. When you wake up, what do you say? It was only a dream. You are not attached to your dream wife, you are not attached to your dream children, you are not attached to your dream parents, you are not attached to your dream house or dream wealth. You give it zero value the moment you wake up. Same way, the moment we turn inwards in this world, we turn inwards and remain contemplating on Shri Ram. The fire is the fire of concentration. You don't need a physical fire. Inside is the fire of concentration. Whenever you concentrate on something, heat is generated, just like you take a magnifying glass and you put it in the sun rays. The sun rays, when they pass through the magnifying glass, they become concentrated and are able to burn a piece of paper. Exactly the same way. Entire energy of your mind, when it is directed towards the Lord, immediately all the energy becomes focused, because now instead of getting dispersed in the manyness of the universe, it is focused on one, Shri Ram. And now it is able to reach its conclusion. And reaching its conclusion means, because you have become surrendered, dedicated, you have invoked Shri Ram. First you are trying, but once only it has to click. And when it clicks, the Subahu and Mareecha, the imagination and the strength of attraction towards the world, the strength of desire for the world, that umbilical cord with the world and with the imagination of your mind, that gets cut. And you are able to remain as the devotee of the Lord. Exactly the same thing happens when you go to sleep at night also. Without going into too much detail, you think about it, what we had just said, what we said in the last class, and contemplate and come to your own conclusions. Conclusion should not be the world is real. Conclusion should be Lord is real and Lord is in my heart and I am not other than the Lord. Or Lord is not other than me. In essence, not as body, in essence. And in that imagination, this body is also an imagination, these thoughts are also an imagination. Sage Vishwamitra duly worshipped Raghunandana with great reverence, lifted him affectionately onto his laps and embraced him to his bosom with eyes filled with tears, love and affection. Vishwamitrastu sampujya pujarham Raghunandanam ange viveshya chalingya bhaktya bashpakulekshanaha. Cha alingya. Alingya means he embraced him. He wanted to become one with the Lord. But alas, he can't. He can, when we see these small kids who are so innocent, so non-judgmental, and they come and they hug you, you just want to hug them and be one with them. And Vishwamitra, who has been trying to complete this fire sacrifice for such a long time, now he was able to accomplish it. And when this happens inside of us, that we are able to, when we remain fixated on Shri Ram to the exclusion of the world, including the body and the gross mind which is attached to the world, thrills, horripulations, tears, all hair standing on end, all these symptoms start expressing themselves. All these symptoms are told here as the gods showered flowers on Lakshman and Shri Ram, sounded their kettle drum, and as our focus and concentration on Shri Ram becomes greater and greater, meaning the distance between Shri Ram, the ideal, and we, the seeker or the devotee, becomes less and less and less and less. To that extent, first there is showers, then there is sounds, trumpets, cymbals, then there is drums, then there is conch, then there is om, then there is silence, and then there is merging. These are the various stages with which one goes and one comes to glide into the divine that his focus was. Bhojayitva saha bhratra ramam pakvafaladibihi purana vakyair madhuraihi ninaya divasatrayam. And thus the sage, overwhelmed with affection and surging devotion, his fatherly emotions spilled over from his heart, and he felt extremely privileged, lucky and exhilarant, because he knows who Shri Ram and Lakshman are. And here he is using Shri Ram, Lord Narayana himself, to protect his yajna, his fire sacrifice. On his diktat, Ram and Lakshman, only 60-year-old, are carrying out the orders of Vishwamitra, and they carry it out successfully with Tadka, with Mareecha and Subahu, successfully. And when the person carries out your order successfully, without argument, without question, without doubt, if someone says what you are doing, you want them to do, then without any question, then you automatically you are surrendered to them. You feel that he is a worthy person, that he has good character, that he is capable, that he is a integrated person. What's the point? Acha bhai, take the bin out. Why should I take it out? What time should I take it out? Should I put it this way or that way? Why can't you take it out? The bin has to be taken tomorrow morning. Why you are telling me to take it out now? Unwanted questions. This is just one. With food is the same. If you make today's children, you make pasta, why there are no noodles? If you make noodles, why there is no pasta? Arey teri ki. Never satisfied. Why you put this? Why you put that? I don't like capsicum. I don't like potato. I am vegan. I don't eat tofu. I don't eat that. What are you? Eat. Go eat leaves. No point here is Ram and Lakshman never argued with their teacher. Never argued with their teacher. So what do we learn here? That whenever we are with acharyas, with masters, whichever, any saints and sages who are coming here, sannyasis who are coming here, never argue. The typical word is be a kamandalu with them. Kamandalu is the pot which the sannyasis carry. The water inside that pot, if the sannyasi is walking this way, the water goes that way. If the sannyasi is going this way, with the second step, the water goes that way. The rule is, when you are at home, follow 100% of your discipline. When you are traveling, follow only 25% of the discipline. When you are with sannyasis, follow 0% of your discipline. When you are with the sannyasi, you listen to what they say. Be available. Sometimes even in a casual statement, a profound teaching is given to the available one. See? But we want to teach the sannyasi, we want to teach the masters that they don't know anything, we are more worldly, we know better the world. They know better. Otherwise they won't be sannyasi. They have worked out that there is nothing worthy in this world. But with our little bit of knowledge, we go and try to teach the Mahatmas. I am also guilty of that. And I had to face the consequence when I was in the ashram. But that one experience was enough. I learned my lesson. In this manner, thereafter he offered that these two boys, they have done such a great, performed so greatly and killed or removed these obstacles out of the fatherly devotion, emotion, and being responsible for Ram and Lakshman, the love pouring out of his heart for these two. He immediately got some ripe fruits and fed them by making them, both of them, sit on his lap and feeding them, and told them stories from the Puranas and other scriptures. And in this way, for 3 days passed, 3 days rest, 3 days of respite. Thereafter, on the 4th day, continuing 12th, 13th, 14th and 15th verse. चतुर्थे हनि संप्राप्ते कौशिको राममब्रवीत् राम राम महायज्ञं दुष्टुं गच्छामहे वयं विदेहराजनगरे जनकस्य महात्मनः तत्र माहेश्वरं चापम् अस्ति न्यस्तं पिनाकिना द्रक्ष्यसि त्वं महासत्त्वं पूज्यसे जनकेन च इत्युक्त्वा मुनिभिस्ताभ्यां ययौ गङ्गासमीपगम् गौतमस्याश्रमं पुण्यं यत्राहल्या स्थिता तपः दिव्यपुष्पफलोपेता पादपैः परिवेष्टितम्. Now slowly we are entering into the event or the episode where Ahalya Uddhar. Ahalya, she was the wife of Gautama Rishi. So that is where we are coming to. Chaturthe hani samprapte kaushiko ramam abravit. On the 4th day, Chaturthe, as the 4th day came, Kaushik, that is another name for sage Vishwamitra, told Ram abravit. Abravit, told in past tense. What? Rama Rama Mahayajnam Dushtum Gacchamahe Vayam. Oh Ram, we shall go to this, to see, Dushtum, to see, Gacchamahe, Gacchamahe Vayam Gacchamahe, we all will go. Dushtum, to see what? Mahayajnam. There is a great sacrifice, which is fire sacrifice, which is going on. And this way, there is a religious sacrifice or a ceremonial sacrifice that is going on. And you will see that, as I was telling you before, Rishis were Brahmajnanis and were performing the sacrifices, the fire sacrifice. Munis may or may not be, but they were focused and they were reflective on some higher truth, some higher principle of the creation, and they will be focused on that. Sannyasi, he is exempt from following karma. He is exempt from invoking the fire. When we say a person has been endowed with the Janeu, he has to do the three sandhya, morning, afternoon and evening. And in those 3 sandhyas, he has to invoke the Agnihotra. It is not a fire sacrifice, but he invokes the fire with few mantras and chants the Gayatri mantra. And this must be followed by a Brahmin, by a seeker, by a person who has been endowed with the thread ceremony, who has been initiated into Gayatri mantra, to do the 3 sandhyas. Invoke the fire 3 times a day and chant Gayatri mantra 3 times a day. For what? For no purpose. For pacifying the gods, for keeping them happy. Why to keep them happy? So they can shower flowers and ring the cymbals and beat the drum. Why? By doing these regular disciplined activity, you will get purified. See? Now, here the name is not taken, but it will come in the next 14th verse, it will come. So here, Mahayajnam, this great sacrifice is being performed by King Janaka. Who is King Janaka? King Janaka is the father of Sita. And who is this King Janaka? This King Janaka is a Raja Rishi. He is a king, he is a Brahmagnani, and he is a performer of sacrifice. 3 in 1. An unbelievable feat, an unbelievable combination. Very rare people can do that. Brahmagnani, running a kingdom, and regularly performing the fire sacrifice. See, fire sacrifice is not just for time pass, running away from the world, sitting in the room, lighting the fire. No, I have already explained to you. The invocation of fire is to sharpen your faculties, to sharpen the potential of your faculties. Those faculties are blessed by gods. And the gods are at individual and total level, at micro and macro level. When we call as Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, Indra, Marut, etc., we talk of them as a part of totality. But they are equally present inside of you also. You have to invoke. What will happen when we invoke? You will realize that the ones inside and the ones outside are one and the same. And the moment you realize they are one and the same, the entire creation is at your fingertips. You are the master. You may not know the truth. You may not know the reality. But you come to a point where you are not a slave of creation. You are not the slave of Prakriti. All the divinities, all the demigods, all the potentialities, they are only at the Prakriti level. In other words, they are only at the mental level. The mind is projecting, including this body and breath. It is projecting this individual body and it is projecting the totality, the universe. Just like in the dream. And once you realize, hey, the micro and the macro are one and the same. The moment that realization happens, you find that you are not the mind. You are beyond the mind. You are the master of the mind. You are transcendental to the mind. You are the eternal witness of the phenomena. This is the technology that is employed by our scriptures. If you understand the total picture, it's fascinating. You have to find where you are genuinely, not imagine I am a sannyasi. No, be genuine about it and start from there. For that, an unbiased assessment of yourself is required. So as I was saying, Janak Maharaj, I think 12 or 14 in Bhagavad it came, 12 or 14 generations, every king of Mithila was called as Janak, and every king was a Brahmagnani, he was a realized master, and was a king, and was carrying out the sacrificial ceremonies. See? And to one of them, the present one, we will see in further that Sita is born. That story also we'll tell when it comes. That is not the point of Adhyatma Ramayana, but that comes in Tulsi Ramayana, it comes in Valmiki Ramayana, but here we don't have to go too much in detail, but to make it interesting, I'll keep telling the stories wherever required. Videha Rajanagare Janakasya Mahatmanaha Tatra Mahashwaram Chapam Asti Nestam Pinakina there is a very huge, huge bow. What is its name? Pinakina. Tatra mahashwaram chapam asti nestam pinakina. There is a great, what you call, sorry, before that, Videha Raja Nagare Janakasya Mahatmanaha. So there is we shall go to Janakpur to see the great Yagya. There is a very huge and formidable bow called Pinak belonging to Lord Shiva. And that Pinak was given to Parshuram, and it is said some places, and that Parshuram kept it in the gave it to Janak Maharaj for safekeeping. Safekeeping what? Nobody could lift it. Even Janak Maharaj finds it difficult to lift it. But Sita could easily move it. So it is kept in a particular temple which is dedicated only to it. And he says they are going to be doing this great sacrifice there. So let's go to see that. You shall, in the 14th verse he says, Drakshyasi tvam mahasatvam pujyase janakena cha ityuktva munibhistabhyam yayau ganga samipagam. There is a very huge, you shall see that strong and sturdy bow, and King Janak shall duly welcome and show respect and honor to you. And where are we? 14th. Drakshyasi to mahasatvam pujyase janakena cha ityuktva munibhistabhyam yayau ganga samipagam. And Ganga, and having said this, Vishwamitra along with other sages and Shri Ram and Lakshman came to the hermitage of the most exalted sage Gautam near the river Ganga. And what is this place? We will look at it in the 15th verse says, that's the last verse, isn't it? Yeah. Gautamasyashramam punyam yatra halya sthita tapaha divya pushpa falopeta padapai pariveshtitam. And this ashram, it was full, meaning it was so beautiful, it was so perfect, it was so inviting, it was so fragrant, welcoming. Life was abundant. Plants were there, flowers were there. But one thing was missing. What was missing? Life was missing from that ashram. There was not one human being, there was not one animal, there was not one squirrel, not one ant, nothing. It was full of, literally surrounded by trees bearing divine and holy fruits, and Ahilya was doing severe penances and austerities, that is tapas there. So life was there, but people were not there. Living beings were not there. Living beings, humans and animals and birds. What's the point of having a beautiful place like that and no living creatures? So here we see where before it was told what? Videha Raja Nagare. Videha. Deha Videha. Who are we? Who is a common man? He is in Deha. Inside Deha means inside body. I am this body, I am inside this body. This is paining, that is paining, hunger is coming, mind is not listening to me. Videha, the one who is disidentified from the body. That's another. Therefore, that's another name for Janak Maharaj, Videha Raja. What is the name? Another name for Sita ji? Vaidehi. Videha Raja's daughter is Vaidehi. She is also disidentified. Is your mind identified with thoughts? Is your mind identified with waking, dream, deep sleep? Is your mind identified with past, present, future? Just watching it? No, because thoughts come, thoughts stay, thoughts go, mind has got nothing to do with it. Then who is troubled by those thoughts? The I, the ego, the individual is troubled. Mind is not troubled. Mind is the Shakti. Individual consciousness, individual you and me, we are identified with this individual potentiality. In this mind, which is our potentiality, by nature, it is infinite. And what is the nature of this infinite potentiality? The potential in this mind is to be the infinite potentiality. Infinite potentiality is called Sita. Infinite potentiality is called Vaidehi. Vaidehi, the one who is unattached. Just like if you observe your mind is not attached to in-breath or out-breath. Your mind is not attached to this thought or that thought. Your mind is not attached to yesterday or tomorrow. It keeps, whatever data comes, it keeps reflecting and it continues to be the same. Thoughts come and keep changing. Just as man is not disturbed by the roles that are coming and going. Man is not disturbed. Eyes are not disturbed by the colors and forms. So many forms are illumined by the vision. Vision remains the same. It is not disturbed by what it is illuminating. Ears are not disturbed by the sounds that it hears. If it was disturbed, I don't want to hear, and then can it close itself? No. So every sound comes, it creates a vibration, it goes away. Then next sound comes, it creates a vibration, it goes away. The ability to hear remains the same. Same way is with our mind. Same way, when you recognize this about your mind, then slowly our mind is turning into Vaidehi. Or in our mind, Vaidehi, the total potentiality, the total Shakti, which is unattached to anything, she starts getting invoked, she starts blessing our mind. And as the I has less and less to identify with, so this I also gets transformed. It also realizes that, hey, I am that pure consciousness, I am not this ego consciousness. The moment you realize you are the pure consciousness, Ram is pure consciousness, Sita is unattached mind. देखो मजा. Vaidehi, Vaideha Nagare. Vaide, what is that? Videha Raja Nagare Janakasya Mahatmana Tatra Maheshwaram Chapam Asti Nestam Pinakina Drakshasi Tvam Mahasatvam Pujyase Janakena Cha Ityuktva Munibhistabhyam Yayau Ganga Samipagam. Now they come to Gautama Ashram while on this way. So he has, in other words, told Ramchandraji that we are going to Videha Rajanagari, we are going to Janak Maharaj. I don't know if it comes for while he is here. I don't think he has told him that it is that Sita ji is there. See, Ram and Lakshman, I told last week, they have left their parents. Now, Vishwamitra is their family. He is their father, he is their mother, he is their guru, he is their whole soul. He is their uh, uh, Annadata, he is their Rakshadata, or everything. They completely, and their father has told him, now you go with him and you be completely surrendered. Now he is everything to you. And how do you build confidence? Vishwamitra has shown that he is caring for them, he trusts them, he has faith in them, he loves them, not only by feeding and by making them sit on his lap, but he has given them. What does a Kshatriya want? What any young 16-year-old, what he wants more power. Vishwamitra has given them the power of Bala and Ati Bala. Then he has given them, both of them, all the powers that he had of invoking the various powers and activating them. He has given them. When you love someone, you shower. You don't have to give physical presents. So the trust between Shri Ram and Lakshman and Vishwamitra, it has also grown, if we can look at it from that angle. So they trust. He knows. He has already, under the guidance and tutelage of sage Vishwamitra, our Ram and Lakshman have already killed 3 Rakshasas. You think they would have done anything like this in living in Ayodhya? Would it have been possible? Their father would have said, no, beta, you take a glass of milk and you stay in your bed, I will go and fight. He already told Vishwamitra, I will come. Why you want my young children to come? Only when Vishwamitra became angry and said, I will curse you, then he sent them. Then he consulted sage Vashishta. And then sage Vashishta told him the truth, who Ram is, who Lakshman is, who Sita is. Then he sent them. But even though when we come to satsang, we say the consciousness in your children is the divine consciousness, but you may accept that, but you are still attached to the form of your children. Same way, Dasharathji was also attached to his sons. So reluctantly, yet, because he has got the reassurance from sage Vashishta, he has sent the 2 boys along with sage Vishwamitra. And now, on their journey to Mithila, from Siddhashram, after 3 days in Siddhashram, on the 4th day they began. Sage Vishwamitra tells them, we are going to Mithila because we are going to see the grand ceremony of the Pinaka, which is a Shiv Dhanush. What it is about, what is going to be done, Vishwamitra doesn't reveal anything. He doesn't reveal anything. But he just goes. And along the way, they come across the Ahalya ashram, Ahalya and Gautam ashram. And there they see that this ashram is full of life, very welcoming, very divine, but at the same time, niras. It is completely barren. There is no expression of life apart from plants, fruits, but no living beings. If there is an ashram, there should be students, there should be rishi, there should be activity going on. Nothing. If there are trees, you will see birds cooing and squirrels running around and different animals. Nothing. Everything is absolutely standstill, barren, yet beautiful. and welcoming. Continuing on the 16th, 17th and 18th, मृगपक्षि गणैर्हीनं नाना जंतुर् विवर्जितं दृष्टवोवाच मुनिं श्रीमान् रामो राजीवलोचनः कस्यैतद् आश्रमपदं भाति कस्यैतदाश्रमपदं भाति भास्वच्छुभं महत पुत्रपुष्पफलैर्युक्तं जन्तुभिः परिवर्जितम् आह्लादयति मे चेतो भगवन् ब्रूहि तत्त्वतः मृग पक्षि गणैर्हीनम हीनम without. See, so it's already there. I should have waited for the verse. Hinam without what? Mruga Pakshi Ganair. It is the hermitage was devoid of any Mruga is deer, Pakshi is birds, and Ganaihi any other type of living creature. Nana Jantu Vivarjitam, and any other type of, even the ants, spiders, blah blah, nothing was there, no life. दृष्ट्वोवाच मुनिं श्रीमान् रामो राजीवलोचनः. And seeing this, drishtva uvacha munim, having seen this condition of this ashram with his the lotus-eyed Ram, he asked the sage. What did he ask? Kasyaitada ashramam padam bhati भास्वत शुभम. कुछ गड़बड़ है यहाँ पे. कस्यैतदाश्रम पदम भाति भास्वत शुभम महत. ठीक है अभी. हाँ, पत्र पुष्प फलैर्युक्तम जंतु भी परिवर्जितम. He says, whose hermitage is this, O master, that it is full of leaves, flower, fruits, but there are no living beings, there are no animals, there is no life. It appears intrinsically to be very beautiful, attractive and pure. Then he says, Ahladayati me cheto, that my mind is very, very delighted when it sees this ashram. Bhagavan bruhi tattvataha, that my mind is delighted, it's enchanted. So please tell me all about it. See? Do they tell? Now the story is there, little bit. So in this way, the Ahalya Shap, how Ahalya, who was the wife of Gautama, sage Gautama, under what conditions she was cursed by her own husband and had to take the form of a stone and do the penance. In short, if I look at this, because there is no life there apart from leaves, so that even though she is a stone, she has been converted into a stone, or she is stone-like, undisturbed by the cooing of the birds, undisturbed by the various animals coming and disturbing her. Even an ant, when it walks on your skin, you feel tingling feeling, and you will push it away. So this Ahalya had nothing to be disturbed by. The only thing that was there was the breeze and the heat and cold that the nature subjected on her. In other words, she was totally disturbance free in her tapasya, and as a result, we'll see what happens. She gets the darshan of the Ram now. So Vishwamitra is going to tell her the story, tell Shri Ram the story of Ahalya. Who is she? Because he has asked the question, and when such a student, such a capable student, such an accomplished student asks a question, which is not a rigmarole type of word, please tell me, what is this tree, what is that? No. This Ram is focused. This Ram is fully integrated. And on top of that, sage Vishwamitra knows the truth of Ram. And therefore, but he is not showing that to Shri Ram yet. So naturally, when you have such a student who is so keen, who is so curious, who wants to know, a 16-year-old, if he is not curious, something wrong. At 16-year-old, it is not sitting in your room and playing games on the computer or the iPad. That is stupid. 16-year-old means, yeah, you may use computer, but there is so much to explore in life. Curiosity about the world, curiosity about the universe, curiosity about n number of things. It's the time to soak it in like a sponge. And there, the responsibility of the teacher and the parents come, that as the information is coming towards them, that they protect them from being overwhelmed by it. How? By empowering them. Just like sage Vishwamitra has empowered Shri Ram and Lakshman. Because so many events are going to come. First time in their life they are living in a forest, sleeping on the floor or not sleeping at all, killing demons, Rakshasas. All this is new. This is a completely new experience for these two kids. Have we given the right values, right knowledge, right guidance personally? So that our kids are able to explore life and yet not be overwhelmed by it? Because education system doesn't teach us that. Ramchandraji went to sage Vashishta. He studied the Vedas, he studied the Puranas. So he was good at it, he was the best student. 3-4 days he learned everything. Then he taught his other brothers, he became the teacher. But all that knowledge still led to an identity crisis. And to bring him out of the identity crisis, sage Vashishta had to give him the Yoga Vashisht. Now he knows what the truth is, but he has still not faced life. He has still not gone out. He doesn't know what is the scope, the length and breadth and difficulties and challenges and the ugliness that the life holds within its womb. All the good and the bad that it holds. But he's not been exposed to it because only in his father's house. See, these kids, they come from India, they are with throughout their life, they have lived with their parents, they have got someone coming to clean the toilet and bathroom, another person coming and doing the mopping of the house and jhadu of the house, another person coming and cooking, another person coming and making the chapatis. And what are you doing? Are these kids doing? They studied and they go, they do matar gashti, go to their friends, go to the movies, spend time. But when they come here to Australia, if they come to our house, mom's house, then they have to wash their own bathroom, they have to wash their own dishes, they have to mop their own floor, they, and, and if they don't do it, there is a consequence. Because they have never been exposed. So it's a training, 1 or 2 month training period. First we show them, she shows them, then they practice, then we check, then we expose them to the society here, the challenges here, the opportunities here, and slowly within 2-3 months they become comfortable. Same, you also went through the same thing. You came to satsang maybe in your 30s or 40s or 50s. Ramchandraji came into satsang when he was 8 years old, 6, 7 year old. He went to the ashram of sage Vashishta. But now, foundation is always very important. Our problem is, we studied in the secular system, we were taught whatever we were taught by our teachers in the school. But that was how you can become a good employee, how you can get a good job. It didn't teach you how to be a good citizen. It didn't teach you the interpersonal skills. It didn't teach you how to control your senses and mind. It didn't teach you how to practice brahmacharya. It does not teach you that fulfilling your desires will lead to greed. It didn't teach you that. It taught you, go after your dreams. So, we have to be aware that yes, it has come late, but it's okay. It has come. In my life also, yes, I was seeking, but scriptures never came into my life. Masters never came into my life. They came in my meditation, but going to ashram, all that happened when I was 32 years old. But I had done 13, 14 years of sadhana before. But once the ashram was done, once I studied and understood the scope, the immensity, the potential, the magnanimity of what life is all about, then there's no turning back, man. After that you cannot, at least in my case, I had the option. Why? Because I was not married that time. If I was married, maybe different story, but I was not. I could not see myself getting caught up in that trap of living, living for an earning, or earning for living, whichever way you put it. Suddenly something great, something higher, something more fulfilling, something more inexhaustible, something which is more meaningful took hold of me and directed my life, directed this life. And there's no looking back. That was when? 96. It will be 30 years, another 3-4 years. No looking back. Still life is taking care of everything. Everything is going whichever way it is meant to unfold. But we are living for higher. What is that higher? Regular satsang. That is the way it is expressing here. Regular satsang, regular engagement with higher thoughts, regular japa, regular dhyan. See? So Ramchandraji and Lakshmanji, they have got the foundation correct. But there is no practical application yet in life. And now, going with Vishwamitraji, they have been empowered, they have been given capacity and capability, and they have faced life, some only 2-3 events till now, Tadka and Mareecha and Subahu. Yes, of walking through the jungle, no niceties, no ornaments. They are in brahmachari clothes, just a cloth around their body, cotton cloth, no crown, nothing. And they're just following the footsteps of sage Vishwamitra wherever he is taking them. And at the worldly level, the more, and we are not going and seeking, the more life passes through us, the more, with the right attitude, the more matured we become. Ramchandraji didn't. He may have had doubt. Should I kill a woman or not? Because Tadka was a woman. But he remembered at that time what I should or I should not did not come in his mind. One thought came, should I or should I not? But immediately it was replaced by sage Vishwamitra's that she is an embodiment of lust. She needs to be removed. Do not show any compassion towards her. If Master has told me that no compassion, so be it, without compassion. Without any doubt, not compassion, without any doubt, he did what was required to be done. See? So when we do not know what is the answer, because in YouTube you get so many, for one thing you will get 10 different answers. Which one do you follow? Will you listen to every lecture? This one he said, that one he said, which one? Totally confused. Hold on to one and follow the diktat. Either follow, we must have faith somewhere. Either you listen to your parents, or you listen to your teacher, or listen just means be surrendered, no questions. Like a pativrata, she has no question about her husband. She is completely dedicated to her husband. Like our Anusuya or Sita ji or whoever, Shachi. No questions asked. Completely surrendered. इसको कंप्लीट करते हैं. नहीं तो यहीं पे conclude. We'll start from Shri Vishwamitra Uvacha in our next class. So in this way, when we are completely surrendered to our teacher and under their guidance, even if doubts are there, we brush away our doubts remembering the words of our teacher, words of the masters, which are all inclusive. And which master you will listen to whom you have affinity, with whom you feel connected, with whom you have surrendered. Such masters, not everyone who sounds beautiful on the YouTube. So either you follow your parents' advice, or you follow your teacher's advice, or you follow your guru's advice, or you surrender at a particular altar and you have no doubt that the answer will come, because in the end answer comes from inside only. That faith, we must have complete faith in parents, teacher, guru, some elder in the society. If you can't find anyone, so then go who is most powerful, who is most knowledgeable, to whom everyone goes for consultation. Oh, but what if he is not realized? But at least it's better than nothing. Just follow with full faith. It will lead you to the next point of contact. See? Before Ram, Lakshman, they were with their parents, then they were with sage Vashishta, then they were with sage Vishwamitra. And many more sages are going to come in their life. Many more sages are going to come in their life, from whom they are going to take guidance, whom they are going to protect, whom they are going to show them the way. There's nothing wrong to ask someone learned, someone more knowledgeable. We don't have to feel that we know everything. We cannot. Ramchandraji, even though as Narayana he knows everything, but he is in human form. He has chosen not to remember anything and only go with the flow. So what happens at the Ahalya ashram or Gautama ashram? What Vishwamitra ji tells our Shri Ram and Lakshman from verse number 19. We will look at it in our next class. Bolo Siyavara Ramachandra ki jai, Pavan Sutta Hanuman ki jai, Bolo Bhai Sab Santan ki jai, Sadgurunath Maharaj ki jai. Har Har Namah Parvati Pataye, Har Har Mahadev. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.